Oh, hey, what's going on, everybody? Joe R. Vintage Pokemon here. Why don't we take a look at my fat stack of cards that I can no longer submit to PSA because they decide to jack up their prices. Terrific. What's going on, guys? Joe R. Vintage Pokemon here with another discussion video, and kind of an unfortunate one because I was just about to submit some cards to PSA bulk service for grading through Ludkins, and now that has just been brought to a halt. PSA overnight decided that they were going to double the cost of all bulk submissions. Not just bulk submissions either. Really just about everything across the board has been doubled in terms of overall price. And that really sucks. That bites. Because, I mean, think about it. You go to get a haircut, let's say once a month. Your haircut costs you 20 bucks. Imagine if you went to go get a haircut the following month and you were told, all right, so we, had some cost issues. We're going to have to increase the price for you to get a haircut. You say, all right, fair enough. What's the new cost to get a haircut? And they say, $40. God, $40? Oh my God. What service doubles the cost for their consumer overnight, no less, without any warning? I'm sure there's some examples out there, but you could probably count them on pretty close to one hand. I know there's not a lot of real off the top of your head examples that most people would come up with, but to double prices really stinks because it's going to prevent a lot of people from grading cards that they were really excited to grade. And I was not grading really so much for myself, but for a buddy of mine who just started getting back into Pokemon. He was super excited to do a submission, and he's not a big dog. I mean, he's a big dog, but he's not a big dog like spending wise. And now to tell him that he's got to pay double if he wants to submit the same 8-10 cards that he was going to grade before, that's not really fair. I mean, all he wants to do is have a way of encapsulating some cards that hold some great memories for him. And I think to do it like this overnight is pretty shady on PSA's part. Now, why did PSA double the price of submission? A lot of it has to do with the fact that it's taking so long for cards to get graded now. You look at the timeline. A couple years ago when I submitted, it took 4 months to get cards back, maybe 3 months even. Last year, it was up to 6 months. Back in October, it was up to 8 months. People started joining the hobby in droves. Modern product was more popular than ever. Prices of certain cards were really starting to skyrocket. Now it's 12 months expected for a bulk submission to come back to you. That's 12 months that your cards have to sit in limbo in some warehouse or in some facility before getting graded and being sent back to you. That is absolutely absurd. And you know what? Paying more money to get them back quicker, that's also absurd in my opinion. I mean, I just want my card to be encapsulated and graded. I'm not asking for a lot. So PSA decided to double the price in an attempt to slow down how many people were submitting, basically. Not even so much to make more money. I mean, I'm sure PSA would love to make more money, but they're not doubling the price to make more money. They're doubling the price first and foremost because they can't handle the amount coming in right now. And for that point, Ludkins has halted all new submissions until they can figure out what they're going to charge for cards to be submitted. Hopefully it's less than $20, but it's hard to say for sure what the pricing is going to actually be. Now, doubling the price is absolutely ludicrous, but was there a better alternative to actually doubling the price? I think in the long term, this will bring down the wait times, but that's long term. My cards are currently at PSA. I'm still going to be waiting 8 months, guaranteed. This is not going to do anything. It's just a long-term helping hand that doubling this price is going to do because they still have all the cards that are already there. So what could they have done differently? Well, PSA saw the writing on the wall, in my opinion. They knew that they were already having an increased wait time a year ago. It's not like this is anything new. Not to mention, I think it's pretty silly that they've got estimated times for returns on their website, and none of them are accurate. None of them have been accurate for ages. It's just bad business to tell someone that you're going to deliver on something and then it just doesn't happen. Or to tell someone that maybe isn't familiar that it's going to take a month for the return and then it ends up being 3 months upon them calling and asking where their return is. You know, not everybody is so used to how PSA works, right? So they saw this happening way long time ago. And what they could have done is expanded a little more quickly. I mean, they have been trying to do that, but you've got to start a little sooner when you see this sort of influx coming in. I mean, they could have made even more money technically if they had done this sooner. Start hiring more people, opening up more facilities. They could have just done it more quickly. Or when they noticed that they were starting to see an increase in the wait times, raise the price, but not double it. They literally waited till they were at absolute catastrophic meltdown, nuclear reactor imploding on itself point in time before making a change. Doubling is like a shock to the system. What if they had done what I first was suggesting with the haircut example, raise it $1 or $2, $12 bulk submissions, $13, $15 bulk submissions would have been better. But they just skyrocketed it straight away to the $20 behemoth. And now this is where we're at. So we've seen a huge increase in the popularity. We've seen a huge increase in the pricing of graded product. And that also in turn had an effect on just about everybody submitting these cards. What do I mean by the price of the cards having an impact? Well, if cards are worth more, people are going to want to get them graded because grading the cards makes the cards more valuable as well. The problem is that this is having an effect not just on the expensive cards, the already expensive cards, holographic cards, first edition cards. This is affecting even the bulk, common, and trainers. And I actually want to show you guys what some of this most recent submission was going to actually be to kind of drive the point home. So let's swing over to the desk for a second. All right, so check out this fat stack that we've got here. We've got a first edition common fossil Krabby. Now, a year ago, most people would not have even considered having this card be graded. The money wasn't there. Unless you were maybe one of the bigger businesses, why bother grading a common Krabby? The cost to grade was almost equal to the value of what it would grade as unless it was a Gem Mint 10. Here's the problem. Something like this is now going for $30, $40, if not more, as a PSA 9. And if it's a Gem Mint 10, boom, you've made some big money. So with the increasing values of some of even the less expensive cards, PSA is getting huge submissions. And a lot of times, these are coming in the form of people that are doing big business. Imagine if you're a dealer in cards and you've got thousands of cards like these. And you look at the writing on the wall and it's giving you a return for a $10 grade. If this comes back a PSA 9, it might be worth $30. You know, after fees, taxes, shipping, all that nonsense, that is $15 profit. And most people would take that all day. As long as you have the capital to submit your cards, you're going to keep submitting them and keep raking in those profits. And that's basically on a smaller scale what my friend here was planning on doing. He's got all these first edition fossil cards, and he just said to himself, can I afford to throw down $600 to get all these bulk fossil cards graded? And if just a few of them hit 10s, look at all these horsies. Just a couple of these cards hit 10s, you make all of your money back because PSA 10s sell for a lot of money. I mean, I asked him, I was like, you want to get a gambler trainer card graded from the fossil set? are you for real, bro? And he was like, dude, it sells for $29 on eBay as a PSA 9. So yeah, there's people out there now that want master sets that have every card graded. And for those people, I'm not one of them, but for those people, you need the recycled trainer card. It's part of the set. You need it. And that in itself is causing a problem too, because if you've got all these people submitting all these bulk cards suddenly because the prices just took a shot in the arm, now all of a sudden PSA isn't just getting the emotional support cards or the valuable holographic cards. Now suddenly they're getting everyday common Zubats. I mean, it's first edition, I get that, but it's still a Zubat. Now suddenly this card is super valuable, and now all of a sudden you've got a problem because everyone and their mom is trying to submit these things to PSA because everyone wants a piece of the action. I mean, it's easy money. If it's worth $30, you're going to make money on that at $10. Now, with the increase, we've now doubled it to $20 a card, and I feel like that's pretty shady business practice still, like I said, but now $20, you're more hesitant because there's not as much room to make some of that money back. You're depending on these really getting more 10s than anything else now because there's not a lot of potential there. It's not worth your time anymore. It's not worth as much time anymore. Now, can you still make money getting these sent off to get graded? Yes, but it's a little less. And now someone that doesn't have thousands of dollars in spare capital lying around or isn't doing this as more of a business, that person definitely isn't going to be sending in because they don't have the money to do it anymore. Now let's take a look at my other friend's submission, and this is where it really is unfortunate because he sends in a submission that he's really excited for. These are just some old cards that he had in his binder or cards that he pulled really recently. We've got this old base set 2 Charizard. It was clearly a card that he had in a binder from when he was a lot younger. Top pocket find, right? So beautiful card. Charizard, he just pulled this recently. Here's another one. Beautiful Umbreon from his binder. A Lugia. I mean, you can't do any worse than that. And these are just the top 8 cards that he was most excited to send in and get graded. And now he's got to reconsider what he's going to do because suddenly with the overnight price change, he can't afford to send every single one of these anymore. It's just too damn expensive. We're talking about $80 yesterday is now $160 today. And that is there's just something that is unfair about that. It just doesn't feel right. So PSA, you done us dirty. I think that there's definitely better ways that this could have been done, whether it be a small price increase over time to at least, break us in and get us used to the idea, or just hiring more people, something to make this a little more easy a pill to swallow. And I get it that, the booming popularity of Pokemon's not their fault, but still, from a consumer standpoint, paying double out of nowhere, it's just not okay. It hurts. It hurts a lot, and I feel bad because I did get my cards in earlier in the year at the $10 rate, and now everybody else, they're stuck. So it is what it is. Let me know how you feel. Make sure you throw me a like for the video and subscribe. We do vintage Pokemon card content all the time. I usually like showing off the vintage cards more than doing these sort of discussionary videos, but it is what it is. I mean, this is big news, and it was worth, I think, talking about a little bit. So let me know how you feel in the comments, and we'll see you guys all next time. Bye-bye. Whoa, 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 whoa. What do you think you're doing? We can't submit all those. Haven't you heard? PSA doubled their prices. Yeah, I know.